Right guys, good afternoon. I hope you enjoyed the video last Monday on nutrition. I said this week what I was going to do was talk a little bit about nutrition on the other side of it, on how to gain weight, i.e. put muscle on. But what a lot of feedback that I got was about mindset, and a few people have asked me some questions in the gym this past week about their training, not so much about the nutrition, but what training is best for them. And again, it's like the nutrition case, it's just taking everything back to basics and not overcomplicating it. So for example, a member came up to me the other day and said, you know, should I be doing drop sets? Should I be doing triple sets? How many reps should I be doing? How many reps are best for weight loss? Should I do more resistance training for weight loss, or should I do cardio for weight loss, etc, etc. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about goal setting, not so much about the nutrition, but a little bit about mindset as well, because in my personal opinion, not that many people that come into the gym have the correct mindset, depending on what the goal is. So whether your goal is to train for a 10k or a half marathon or a full marathon, or if you are, if you're training for a bodybuilding event, or even if it's just for a holiday, even if it's just for, you yourself want to trim up, you want to get in shape, some people don't have the right mindset. So I'm going to explain a little bit about what I do with my personal training clients when they come into the gym. And with being a personal trainer, you get to know your client incredibly well. Even if it's not just your client, even if it's just a gym member, as you build a rapport and a relationship with your member or your client, you actually get to know them incredibly well, and they actually feel like they can trust you, which is something which is a privilege, which obviously you don't abuse. But you get to know their routine and what works best for them, and what doesn't work best for them. So when we're talking about goal setting, the one thing that I always do is when they come in and then I'm trying to figure out what they want, and what's going to be best for them, I can always tell when they're stressed, without a doubt. When they're coming in and they've had a problem at work or family or friendships, things like that, you can always tell when something's bothering a person. And when they're in the gym, really that hour that they're in the gym, it's kind of like they're under your control. So what you need to do is you need to take all the added stress away from work, family, friends, all the relationship kind of things, and get them to just focus on that hour in the gym. So more often than not, I'll put the client on the treadmill or the cross trainer to warm up. I'll tell them not to have the phone. I'll just say spend 10 minutes warming up, and yeah, all right, for the physiological point of view, it increases core body temperature, warms the muscles up, etc, etc. But a lot from the psychological point of view as well. It kind of gives them 10 minutes to forget about what's gone on through the rest of the day or through the rest of the week, and gives them a thought process to just get in the zone for the gym. Rather than seeing people walk into the gym on the mobile phone, they're still dressed in their work clothes, they're rushing, they're busy, they know that they've got to do the gym, they know that they've got to fit it into the day, but they're just doing it for the sake of it, and they're rushing, so they slam the phone down, they get on, they quit, they do the session, and then they leave, and it's not been a productive session at all. So a 10-minute warm-up, it raises core body temperature, etc. But psychologically, it gives them a break, and it means that they're then psychologically prepared for the PT session, or even just for their own gym session, which is what you want. You want people to be as switched on as they can be, because that's when they're going to learn. Now, if I'm PTing a client and I'm trying to teach them, and I'm trying to get them to learn, I'm explaining why they're doing certain exercises, and I'm talking to them about the nutrition, I need to know that I've got the full attention. In the same way that if they were talking to me about something, but yeah, I'm still thinking about, the breakfast that I had really disagreed with me, and I'm dwelling about it, and I'm thinking about it, they're going to be thinking, this guy's wasting my time, I'm paying this money, and he's still, I can just tell that the lights are on, but no one's home. And it's the exact same with the clients. So I like putting the clients on the treadmill or the cross trainer just to warm them up first of all. It means that they're prepared. But even just looking around the gym outside of personal training, and seeing people when they're working out, I've not really got a problem with having phones in the gym, because people use it for the music and what have you. But in between your sets, when you're resting, it's when people are spending 5 minutes and you can tell they're on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat, and they're bothered about telling their friends that they're at the gym but not actually performing at the gym. That's what I've got a problem with. So being in the right mindset. So if you set yourself a goal, if you know that you've got a goal, and last time I used a holiday, so I'll do the same this time. So if you know that you've got a goal in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, and it's a holiday, for example, what will you do to actually achieve that goal? Will you just fluke it, try and fluke it, fluke your nutrition, fluke your training, just think, well, I hope I get in shape? Or would you actually take the time out of your day and your week to invest in either a personal trainer or speak to someone who knows about nutrition, that you can basically say, look, I have got 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 12 weeks to get in good shape, help me. Because if you do that, it's a lot better money spent than just fluking it and buying chicken, broccoli and rice and eating that 5 times a day, when you've not got a clue really what you're doing. So set yourself goals, short term, medium and long term. So your long term goal could be, you know that you've got 2 stone to lose, that you could probably lose that by 8 months if need be, 6 months maybe. Your short term goal, what a lot of short term goals I set is for people to drink more water, because that helps with weight loss. And a medium term goal could be losing 3 pounds or 4 pounds. Or it could be that they've drank adequate amount of water, they're now upping the protein intake, for example, or upping the food intake, the food volume, which is what most people need to do to be losing weight. But like I said, I'm not going to talk too much about nutrition. I wanted to talk more about the mindset and overcomplicating things. So do you need to be doing drop sets, triple sets, supersets, giant sets, German volume training, which is basically 10 sets and 10 reps? Not at all. Do you need to come to the gym? Yes. 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps should be adequate for everyone. There's not one person in the gym that I know that is going to be competing at the Mr. Olympia contest in a few days' time. Now, if they were, then yes, maybe they'd be looking at doing a giant sets, drop sets, triple sets, blah, 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 blah. But for your normal person, at most, a superset is adequate. There's no point preaching to people about giant sets, supersets, because trying to get one person to maintain tension throughout one set is just enough, rather than getting them doing 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 exercises back to back. It's not circuit training. So first of all, get the basics. 3 sets between 10 and 12 reps, but make sure that by that 10th rep or by that 12th rep, you're struggling. If your first rep or if your last rep looks as easy as your first, then you're not trying hard enough. You're not putting tension through your muscles, or the weight's too light, either one of those. You need to be leaving the gym feeling somewhat satisfied that you have put a good amount of effort in. Yes, everyone gets tired. Yes, everyone has down days. Yes, everyone has off weeks. If you're having every training session and it's not productive, then I'd suggest taking 3 or 4 days off. Let your mind, let your body recover. Whatever it is, forget it. Start again, 4 days, and get straight to it. 3 sets. 10 to 12 reps, make sure that the weight's enough. Get someone, first and foremost, get someone to check your form and your technique, because there is no point lifting heavy if you can't actually physically perform that exercise. Not every single exercise in the gym is for everyone. You know, there's people with lower back pain that shouldn't be doing deadlifts for certain reasons. There's people with shoulder problems that shouldn't be doing bench press for some reasons, or if they want to work the chest, they need to be doing it from a cable angle, or they need to be doing it from an angled perspective, rather than just doing the generic chest press, bench press. You know, if you've got an underlying shoulder problem that you don't know about, you need to avoid exercises that are going to make that shoulder problem worse. So get the basics, and exercise execution. Now, when I'm personal training, the first thing I do with the client is, rather than getting them in the gym doing the squats, deadlifts, burpees, whatever, I don't get them doing any of that. I actually look at their form and the technique, and very rarely will they actually go off the first 2 weight pins on any exercise, because I need to know that they can A, create tension through the muscle, and B, perform that exercise correctly to their ability. And when I say that, I mean if they're doing lat pull down and their shoulders are tilting forward as they're pulling the weight down, I know that they're quite internally rotated, so we need to work on keeping the shoulder blades pinned back. Now, even if we only work in what you consider as a half rep, as long as that half rep is an active range, it's working within their active range in which they can switch the lat muscle on to pull down, then I'm fine with that. Rather than them stick the weight on and every time they pull down, the shoulders are dripping forward, the shoulders are up, and you're not actually targeting the muscle that you want to target. So yeah, the takeaway for today is don't overcomplicate anything, simplify it. 3 times a week in the gym, 4 times a week in the gym, just doing 3 sets, 12 reps, get someone to check your form, get someone to check your technique. Before you start looking at supersets and giant sets, make sure you can put tension through the muscle. There is a massive difference between moving a weight from A to B or creating tension through the muscle. And I know that most of my PT clients will vouch for this, that when I get them to do an exercise, I make sure that they are putting 100% tension through, and you can do that through various ways. That's for another video probably in the future. But just make sure you're not moving away from A to B, and make sure that when you leave the gym, just have a think back and think, right, for my goal, have I done enough? Am I pleased with that workout? Could I have put more in? And if you need a 10-minute warm up to clear your head from work or relationships, friendships, anything that's stressing you out, then do it, because during your session you'll actually feel a lot better. And if need be, leave your phone on the side or leave it in the locker or something. You don't need it. If you need to plug some music in, either listen to the music in the gym or just get on with your session. And talking between sets as well. There's no problem walking and talking around in the gym. But if your rest period is any longer than kind of 2 minutes, then you're wasting away your session. And that's when people say that they're in the gym for 2-3 hours on end. I couldn't ever recall a time I was in the gym for longer than an hour and a half. And I think that was with doing my cardio session as well. At the end of the day, I want to get my session done, do it, plug my headphones in, because that hour that I have in the gym is my hour. I tell people that I'm in the gym from 2 till 3 or from 3 till 4, whatever time. And I don't want disturbing, because that hour is mine. I've got a goal in my head, and that hour throughout the day is where I'm gonna reach that goal. So don't worry about other people talking. Just focus on yourself. Make sure your technique's right. 3 sets of most exercises. Get someone to check your technique if you need to. And like I said, don't overcomplicate anything. Right, that's enough for this one. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much.